Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am the Wombat of DM, and we are here for session 38 of our Seregen campaign. I believe it's 38 at this point. Yep, 38. So last we left. Oh wait, let's introduce the party first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Uh, let's go ahead and let Belzian go, and then we'll go down the line.
Hello, I am the Banewall, and I play Belzian the Half-Elf Monk, and I won't talk over Roger this time.
Waiting. I'm Amethyst and I
I'll
play
talk
Roger,
over
the
him.
Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes, he would.
And then after my very funny joke, I screwed up my own entrance. I'm playing Ulrich, the human paladin.
And Jaeger, I play Jorvik, the Halfling Ranger, whose character sheet is no longer broken.
Hooray!
Hi, I'm Zippo, the sorcerer, and as soon as we finish resting, if we run into another Hydra, it's getting psychic glanced. That's all I'm saying.
And that concludes our party as of now. Last we left off, as Zippo kind of implied, we had a pretty combat-heavy session, something we haven't done for quite a while. A combat-heavy session, that is. We've had combat in the last while, but not quite to this degree. So the party started off fighting a Hydra. I wouldn't say they did quick work of it. It was a hard fight, but not as hard as it could have been if Zippo hadn't psychic glanced the crap out of it. So he psychic glanced it 3 times, making it only able to move, not attack. But it was able to bleed all over everybody and cause acid damage. So it ended up causing quite a bit of damage to both Zippo, Belzian, and also Ulrich. So there's
Yeah,
that.
the
They
utterly
slayed the beast.
incapacitated Hydra still did almost 200 damage to the party.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. The party did that damage to the party. um, so after that, Zippo looted the Hydra's den and ended up coming away with a few things. One was a bottle with a blue sparkly liquid. There was a statue, an onyx statue, a couple gems. So, not nothing, but some mysterious things for sure. And then they headed east, trying to find a damned maple tree so that they could head further east to the Elven lands, so that they could go north into the Barbarian lands through a passage that they're supposed to be heading through. However, while they rested for the night, the Vargiles that are kind of plaguing this region must have infected the Hydra that they fought the day before, because the heads found them and attacked. And they also bled acid, of course. So ultimately speaking, they had Hydra Part 2, where they were incapacitated more than the Hydra was this time. And one of the Vargiles managed to actually curse Belzian. What that means for the party, what that means for our dear monk, who knows?
I bet everyone else is.
The players know, but the characters might not. So that's where I leave it in your capable hands, my players.
Finish our rest.
Yeah, are we just still kind of standing around the remains of this battle, going, huh?
That was a
So,
fucking
so the scene just ended. The last Vargile just went down. You're all kind of...
some sleep now.
Oh.
Ulrich, you sound
Yeah.
very sleepy.
No? Alright. I guess you're all just can't got your tongues. What's going on?
Oh no, I replied. I said yes. Let's go to sleep. I would very much appreciate some sleep.
Alright.
I don't think we'll need to do watches because, like, the thing we were watching for already showed up, so it would be no point.
What if there's more of them?
Don't say that.
There better not be. Jeez. You know, and you see Ulrich like leans his ear out. It's like the volume went down all the way on my ears there, so I couldn't hear all you talking. No, there should not be more of them. We should be good. I say we all just get some sleep. You all alive? You all good?
Yep.
I concur.
Yep.
And then Yarvik immediately heads for the tallest tree he can find and starts climbing.
Yes.
Yeah, Belzian's asleep already. Just like,
I was gonna curl back up next to Brunhild here. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna say is where Brunhild is, and just honk out.
All right. So the group goes back to sleep. It is close to daybreak at this point. The sun was threatening to rise as the gargoyles had attacked. And within an hour or so, the sun will be up. As I said, it was during third watch. It was pretty close to the end of that 8 hours, but unfortunately they interrupted at about hour 6, and then you needed to fight. Usually 8 hours is 6 hours of sleep and then 2 hours of kind of doing restful activities, or more depending on how much you need to rest, elves. So just keep that in mind. That's why we're kind of having to do this all over again. Who's taking first, second, and third?
Well, hey, I already got my 4 hours of rest.
Ulrich will stay up with Roger.
Also, I'm at full HP, so.
Nice.
Because you were uninjured?
Yeah, Ulrich healed me up right before we started
Right.
watch.
Got it. So you're gonna be basically staying up and doing restful activities while you're keeping watch. Is what I'm hearing, Roger.
I mean, I already got my trancing in. I'm totally
Yeah.
rested.
All right. So the rest of the group, I guess, is gonna have a sleep, and then anybody else who wants to watch with Roger during that time can on first, second, and third.
Yeah, Ulrich will take first.
I can take third again.
wake up Belzian if you need an extra watch person.
All right. So, Roger and Ulrich, you keep an eye on things for the first watch. I see your perception, Roger. I'll need one from you as well, Ulrich. It's still kind of dark within the canopy of the trees, but it's definitely the sun is rising, and over that first hour, things get lighter and lighter. Belzian, after the first hour, you shoot awake in searing pain as something waves through your body, and Ulrich and Roger, you both kind of hear this. I don't see
Yeah, I don't know why you can go through, but it's only
Ulrich's
a 4.
perception yet.
It's only a 4. I don't.
Okay. So you might not actually notice this happening, but Roger, you see this happening right away. Belzian shoots awake and cries out in pain, but it's kind of like a gasp shriek as he's crying out in this pain. It sounds oddly familiar. It sounds like a sound you heard just an hour ago.
Ouch!
Hey, Belzian.
Hello
Pull,
there.
pull on your ears for me.
I am pulling on my ears.
They feel like wings.
If I flap them like this, I could probably fly away.
You're not turning into one of those things, are you?
I don't think so. Like, look, they all the heads that we've seen floating around are from dead people, and I feel very much not dead.
Belzian's color looks a little pale. His eyes are a little sunken, but that could just be because he's exhausted, right?
Can I roll medicine to try and figure out what's wrong with him?
Sure.
17.
You might call this lack of tiredness if you didn't know that he had just gotten bit by one of these creatures. You still see the bite on him, since he hasn't really healed yet. It looks like any normal bite might, except the area around it is inflamed some, as in it looks exacerbated. But what I can say is that that sound was definitely not anything that you're aware of medically. You've never heard somebody emit a sound like that who's been injured, so that's new.
Did Elzian know he made that sound, or is that what woke him up?
You don't. You don't know that you made that sound. It's kind of how you woke up. So it's to you, you just cried out in pain.
I reckon this lack of color is probably because it's been nighttime all night. Losing my tan.
Ulrich, do you have any healing left?
I got a little. Let me see here. And he casts Cure Wounds at the first level.
Very kind of you.
Looks like 11.
Yeah, 11.
That one popped up.
Yep. Did I do anything? I mean,
I think I
the
feel...
wound.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I feel a little bit better, but not in the way that I probably should.
Yeah, the wound seems to have closed up. The area is still, however, like inflamed and veiny. Even though that the injury is actually now no longer really there.
Is it just a big bite mark on the top of his bald head?
Well, it's no longer a bite mark, so it's just like an area that looks inflamed. Think of it like purple bruises.
I'm sure 'tis but a scratch. Nothing I couldn't sleep off in the past. Worst case scenario, I can just wear a
Belzian,
hat.
Also, take 1 away from your charisma, please.
Done.
Thank you.
I mean, does Ulrich get the sense that things are still off then?
Yes.
He's gonna say, let me do something real quick. And he's gonna try detect magic.
What are you doing there?
Well, I'm just trying to see if there's any, I don't know, anything magical going on.
Yeah, so you see a black aura around Belzian. He appears to be glowing with some sort of dark magic. You after you concentrate for a bit, recognize that as necromantic magics.
Well, shit. I don't know how to tell you this. Well, yeah, I do. You're fucked up, boy.
Oh, that's not the news I wanted to hear.
Yeah, no, I don't got a good bedside manner. So, you got some kind of bad aura around you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
do you
no, no.
mean
I'm like there's some bad magic on you. Necromantic.
Oh, well, that sounds not good at all.
Yeah.
Belzian, when did you become a necromancer?
Huh. Well, I don't know. Last night, I reckon.
You learned fast.
Can I summon something out of the ground like an animal skeleton?
How do you try and accomplish this? You just hold out your hands and try and will it into existence?
That is exactly what Belzian is trying to do.
Okay. Since you are genuinely attempting to do such a thing, let's do a Arcana check. This is untrained, so it will be at disadvantage.
All right. Ooh. I have to refresh my browser. Did we level up recently?
We did. Level 8.
Features and traits. Okay, this has been updated. Cool.
Hooray.
An 18.
Your attempt to raise or raise dead in the area that you're trying to raise it doesn't really do much, but you do let out another scream that you do hear, which the other two that are awake both hear, and it sends a chill down their spine. It doesn't affect them in any other way, but it's definitely unnatural.
Well,
Hey, the
that
12.
ain't good.
Was that me? I'm very sorry. I don't know what came over me.
Okay. Belzian. Oh God, I don't know what we're gonna do about this.
Oh, I'm apparently magical, but not in the
No.
good way.
No, it's like a curse.
No.
Yeah, I was just trying to kind of. I mean, I detected necromantic magic around you, but it don't seem like it's a good thing.
Oh, that's terrible news. The next thing you're going to tell me that there's a spooky skeleton inside my body.
Yeah. Hey, Belzian, could you go get that for me? And Ulrich points at like his bag, his satchel over by his his bedding.
I mean, if you insist.
Yeah, thanks. My leg's still a little bit sore. You can tell I'm all beat up. As soon as he's out of ways, Ulrich looks at Roger and says, "So, look, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, we either need to find someone who can deal with it quick, or we're gonna have to consider the possibility that we're gonna be fending off his face soon."
Well, if you ever need a first strike, just sneak the word preemptive into a sentence.
Well, I don't want to be too hasty, you know.
That's why I'm putting all of the responsibility for that decision on you instead of me.
Yeah, no.
You're our fearless leader, Ulrich.
Oh, that's a bad choice. Oh wait,
We did it without you for a while, and it was awful.
thanks for the bag, Belgian.
Belzian comes back at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Belgian, we got just a preliminary kind of assessment here. And I don't want to presume anything, but when you start feeling this?
Sometime in the last couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, because you weren't barking earlier, as far as I know. So, I'm noticing that nasty bite mark. I think you might be facing a bit of a problem, and you might be, well, you might be losing your head soon, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh no, first my hair, and now my whole head.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how them fat-headed fuckers really work, but I think we may be getting a quick crash course.
Well, that's pretty grim indeed.
So, here's the deal. I don't want to be presumptuous, but we're gonna have to monitor you. We gotta find just someone that can handle this. I don't know what to do with it, but my first instinct is honestly to talk to the elves.
Ulrich, I'm an elf.
Yeah, you are.
Fix me, Roger. Fix me.
Didn't you say that you got some kind of little necromantic pendant from Jordan? Like some bird statue or whatever?
Well, I got this silver swan, and that's why I asked him to bring the bag out, because I don't know what the hell this thing does, but frankly, the only other curative I might have for you would be, my axe. And I don't really want to take that route if we can do that.
Ulrich's just not as good of a surgeon as he used to be.
No.
Good old battlefield amputations, am I right?
Yeah, well,
Look, if something's wrong, you have to cut it off below where the problem is, so...
Yep. And war is pricey. It costs you an arm and a leg. So
Sometimes even a head.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Gerard.
Yeah, Ulrich pulls out the silver figurine of the swan. Just not sure at all what this thing does. He never figured it out, but if there was ever a time.
So how would you like to try and use this device?
Oh man, I'm just reading my text on it. It says that I will share that with everyone. Figurine of wondrous power, blah blah blah. While magic of the figurine does not seem to react to being thrown, no command word comes to mind when holding the item.
Which is what normally happens when you have a figurine of wondrous power.
There's a gentle feeling of longing, and if concentrated on, the image of a silver swan figurine comes to mind. The silver swan seems to be the pair of one you hold, and it appears to be in a simple leather bag drawn closed. So it seems like it needs the mate. But how big is this?
It fits in the palm of your hand.
The size of a real swan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about this big.
Yeah.
This is actually a pretty good thing. It's just a longer neck.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just now seeing what's being said in our little Discord, and that was kind of my instinct. Was like, what if we could somehow, like, I have no other way to activate this.
It's a suppository.
Yeah.
Eat it.
So like my logic there is what if what if the longing somehow preserves him? Like it longs or it could be the opposite where it longs to get to the other place and his head pops off and flies to the swan.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that could
Yeah.
We try it on someone else first.
I mean, here's a dumb idea. Jeez. All right, look. We had a mission to go find the Bronze Clan and the Black Clan, but this has been a mess. Pretty much out the gate. I mean, I don't know anyone who knows anything about these fucking heads, except for maybe the elves. We're not that far away. I mean, we are, but in the grand scheme of things, we're closer to that than we are probably to our ultimate destination. Our ultimate destination isn't going to have any inkling of what those things were.
Perhaps not.
What if we head back?
Aren't we already more than halfway there?
Is it more than halfway there? Jeez.
Ulrich looks at the globe as
It's not. We're not almost halfway there yet. We're like a fourth of the way there.
okay.
We seem to be in the middle.
I would say a
Third.
third.
I would suggest if you look at the map, heading directly south, there looks like a river that is a fork that is on the edge of the Plainslands.
Yeah.
I would say it would be somewhat likely we might find a settlement there. I don't know what that settlement would be.
I do agree, but it's my uncertainty of those things that worries me, Like we know we have a definite, and I'm so positive that there is something there. I'm pretty sure that Ulrich did say that there was something there when he was feeding lies to the Axe Clan. But we do know something is here with Aurora, and I don't know. That's Ulrich's pitch. I don't have anything better to suggest right now.
If we can find another tree to kind of use the leaves to go back, maybe that that had to help us out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been looking.
I'll remind you about two things about the way back, since it's been a little bit. There has been a large battle that happened here. There's more Vargoyles this way, as you saw, that you've avoided. One of which is Gerard's head, which I don't know about you, but I probably want to get bit by that enemy, whatever that might do.
What if
Maybe cause another world war.
it turns into a king?
You know that the tree highway is broken about here.
Tree highway.
Because you tried you used it, came out, and then the other one got broken, burnt. So if you do find the trees, it's not going to help you get back.
Okay.
You're pretty sure about that, based on the fact that you did find a tree and it wasn't active. It wouldn't work because its mate, presumably, was destroyed.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa. We're halfway there. Whoa. Are we living on a prayer?
All right, let me think about this. I am not magical enough.
we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So the other swan is in some bag somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's gonna do anything. I'm glad you woke up, by the way.
I've been in the tree watching, so I didn't know if I was going to have to put an arrow through Belsian's head or not. But,
Yeah,
you know.
So yeah, I mean I don't know if it's gonna do anything. I just, I'm exhausted. My magic is pretty limited in what it can do, and just healing them didn't seem to fix it.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think we've got a better bet of just going forward. And what are
Perhaps
the
we'll
odds?
find some elves along the way.
What are the odds that
Belzian-
we don't find any elven settlements nearby?
I mean, could be high.
We are traveling right along the border, and the wall was incredibly uncomfortable. That's why no one settled near it. So,
We can
I
move
see.
back further into the forest.
That might just be damning us, though. I mean, if we're not gonna,
Everything might be.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if we're not gonna be going back to Aurora, I don't really think we should be moving back into the forest because that doesn't meet the goal of really heading north.
Moving into the forest helps us locate the tree network again.
Possibly, yeah.
That's the reason to go into the forest. And to clarify, we are in the forest, but just further.
Yeah.
The tree network will help us move in whichever direction faster, and will take us directly to settlements, or at least near them.
Yeah.
We can hide our humans off in the side and let the elves go and attempt to get people tended to.
Elzian, what do you think?
I think if we press on, perhaps not in the exact same direction, we are likely to find like elf scouts or something like that could perhaps point us in the right direction. A little bit of a quest to the side. A side quest, if you will. I don't think going back to Aurora would be a good use of our time.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna keep an eye on you. We're gonna do what we can. I'm gonna try and rest up once the time comes, and maybe I don't know. Maybe I can fix you. Maybe it's a poison.
So
it's probably-
Ulrich, based on your detect magic and that you're really studying Belzian because you're really concerned for the chap, why don't so let's see here. I'm thinking as a paladin, you kind of know or are at least more familiar with some of the more supernatural things, especially when it comes to like, in the divine sense, for example, you know what I mean? So, why don't you give me... I would say it would be a religion check.
Okay.
I know you're not trained in that, but like it's not history for sure.
Sure. Yeah. 20.
Good roll. Based on your limited familiarity with the undead, because there were undead things in Seregen for sure. You know that contact with undead tends to spread more undead, as you're kind of realizing at this point with Belzian. If you're thinking he's going to turn into one of these flying heads, it's kind of just like a ghoul back home. A ghoul bites somebody, that person can turn into another ghoul. Most of the time, the only things that can stop the spread until you can get somebody cured of a curse is elements of pure anti-necrotic. So like daylight spells, daylight itself, like a clear bright day, things like that tend to slow these types of curses from happening. But the only way to really get rid of it, lesser restoration isn't going to cut it. It's going to have to be something more powerful than that.
Yep.
What are you
Unless
looking at,
restoration do
Ulrich?
anything about the ability damage?
That's what he got from the roll.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, look, I think we need to keep you in sunlight as much as we can.
I'm feeling a little pale.
Yeah, get you a tan, and yeah.
Huh. Well, let's hope the sun doesn't go down.
Yeah, I mean, but if we're gonna keep you in sunlight, that does mean we don't go into the trees. We gotta get out.
We are.
There are a
somewhat
few
close to
patches
it.
of sunlight currently in the area. Like, it's mostly overcast, but there are gaps in the trees where you can test out this theory.
Yeah, I mean, I walk him towards some sunlight if he follows.
I go stand in a beam of sunlight.
Okay. You enter the pool of sunlight in the darkness of the forest, and you feel a little bit more like yourself. There's some color that returns to his face. You don't feel completely right, but it's refreshing feeling. It feels good.
Ah, feels good, man.
Okay,
With
well,
the sunlight, to try to feel the two differences.
shit.
Feels bad. Feels good. Feels bad. I think I'm gonna stand in the sun a little bit longer.
All right, all right, all right. So we keep you in sunlight.
I wonder if just magical fire or a torch would work.
Not quite the same thing.
I suppose not. I could climb the trees and try to walk in the top of the trees. But we are also trying to lay low from unseen assailants.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just thinking about, you know what?
What?
I have an idea.
You're full of ideas.
Let me get some sleep. In the morning, or when I wake up, I'm gonna scrounge you up some holy water.
Holy.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll try that.
And maybe some other things.
Well, thank you for your time and attention to this matter.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, first shift is pretty much concluded. Belzian, if you continue to stay in that sunlight, you won't feel an intense. I guess the question is, do you stay in that sunlight, or are you kind of fooling around, or what's the plan?
I think Belzian will sit cross-legged in the sunlight for a while.
Okay.
Maybe throw some prayers out there to the 12 as he does.
The first hour goes by after that initial wake up, and you do not incur any more charisma damage at this point.
Nice.
All right, second watch. The morning burns on. Belzian doesn't make any more shrieking sounds, and it seems pretty quiet in the forest now that several monsters have been removed from it. Who's doing watch with Roger? Is that
I believe
Yarvik?
second watch is solo unless Yarvik is joining me.
Yeah, I thought it was second. I mean, Jarvis could do it. It's no big deal. But I think it was solo.
Nah, get
Okay,
some rest
all right.
then.
Cool. So it makes sense though, since it's daylight, it's not, the threat level's just not as high.
All right, third watch.
That's me.
Zippo, you kind of were sleeping pretty hard. I mean, you got more damage than you've gotten pretty much the entire series so far in that one battle. Except for when you got knocked out by those Goliaths, of course.
When they cheated, yeah.
Yeah. So, you kind of slept pretty hard and are unaware of why Belzian is sitting in a pool of sunlight.
And I am
Belzian
also
waved.
unaware of everything else. I got a 4 for perception.
And since it's you're in the forest, you're not in direct sunlight like Belzian, you don't have to roll at disadvantage to see if it's even worse than that. All right, Roger, you gonna tell Zippo anything, or?
I will pass on to him all of the knowledge that we have gained from first watch and second watch.
Okay.
So, in short, Belzian's turning into one of those flapping head thingies. Probably.
That'd be interesting to see what happens to his body. Like, will his body just follow the head, or will it, change into the wings and everything?
Yeah, which part do we bury?
I don't feel like we'll have anything to bury. Maybe when they turn into that head form from like the way Belzian is, they eat the rest of their body to get stronger.
That makes sense.
Or it's like a first meal type thing, Like, oh, I just turned, I gotta eat something. Oh, look, the rest of my body.
Nobody else is using it.
Exactly.
That makes sense. You've put my
This is
mind
a
at ease.
grim. Says an ambiguous voice in the. Yeah.
See, they know. They know.
All right. So that 23 was your third watch, right?
Yep.
Okay. I will mention this to you, Roger. The Vargile heads that you killed, the Hydra heads, are kind of melting away into just bone. The flesh has pretty much all melted off at this point. And it's just basically like the skull and bone structure of the jaw of these 11 Hydra heads. One of which looks like it's pretty badly mutated inside. One of the heads, now that you can see it's just the skull and jaw, it looks like it's partially like mutated into two connected skulls that are making one skull. It's very deformed. Almost looks like they're two merged skulls.
Yeah, that's the one that we split right when we killed it.
Yes, it is. Very good.
Well, if nothing else happens
right.
on watch, let's wake everyone up.
That's it. Yeah, everybody can wake up. I'm going to let Benji out real quick.
Good, I have my spell slots back.
I will point out the melting heads to the rest of the party.
Okay. The heads are like pretty big as a heads up. They're about the size of Zippo. They're medium-sized heads. Unlike the Vargal heads you encountered earlier that were small, these are medium-sized creatures.
There you go.
All right. All right. Well, that's disconcerting. So, let me take care of this.
So the only I need 25 GP worth of powdered silver for this. I do have silver coins. I'm just not sure how to get that to be a powdered.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately with silver powder, it's like a refined thing that you buy when you're in town somewhere, right?
Yeah.
If you found like a natural vein of silver, you might be able to like drag your weapon repeatedly against it. Since it's processed silver, it's going to be a little bit harder to accomplish that.
Yep.
How much silver do you have?
144 pieces.
Yeah, that's not even going to be enough, right?
Oh, it
'Cause
totally is.
25. That'd be 250 silver for 25
Oh, you're right.
gold pieces worth of silver.
You're right.
Did we use any of that gunpowder we found in the goblin mine?
That's all gone already.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, it's gotta be.
How much
silver?
or how many silver? How much silver does Overk have?
144, but the problem again is I needed is
Powder.
yeah.
See, I have 70 silver.
I've got 150 silver. So much for the vow of poverty.
So by technicality rights, we have it. We just don't know how to get in the powder. I think as long as we keep him in the sun, he seems to be doing okay. We can make it to the next elven village that we know of, the one right next to the Bronze Clan, and maybe the elves or the dragons will know what to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta keep him in the sunlight, so let's trudge forward to the north. Northeastish.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is the plan is to get closer to the wall so that there's a more constant clearing so that he can be in the sunlight while you travel.
Yep.
Did Belzian manage to get a long rest out of all of that, or is he exhausted?
You are able to get a long rest as long as you've stayed in the sun the whole time.
Yeah, he probably fell asleep while meditating or whatever. Well, let us go towards the sun, but not too
Indeed.
close.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's good with this plan?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So the party travels for about an hour. Oh. In a northeasternly direction. Belzian takes an additional point of charisma damage. He's not able to be in the sunlight the whole time, and unfortunately that causes him to take another charisma point. But you do break the edge of the forest and are in kind of a field. You can see out in the distance where the wall probably was, and you can see that the ground is kind of has that scarring from what could only be described as the wall reaching out and snatching away things that are living nearby it. It's far enough away that if you stick close to the tree line, you're probably not going to be too visible, but you do still feel quite exposed after having been in the forest for so long. You've been in the forest for probably about a week now, right? Well, just about, yeah.
Something like that.
As sketchy as this may be, the sunlight has never felt better.
When he took that charisma point of damage, he had a similar reaction where you remember how like Bilbo when he's responding to Gandalf taking the ring from him in the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring, and for a moment he has that look of Gollum about him as he cries out. It's like that.
Closed captioning just says screams.
And since all of you are awake to hear this, you naturally kind of stride a little bit farther apart from Belzian as you're walking.
Elzian's like embarrassed.
Group wide side eye.
Just petting Brunhild looking down. It's okay, Brunhild.
Don't
You'll
worry,
be safe."
guys. I don't bite yet. Oh, the poor dog's ears. Like it's like a Halloween when they hide from all the firecrackers.
All right, so now that you're here, what's the plan?
Onward towards the dragons.
I mean, Ulrich just wants to move us as far as we possibly can, keeping Belzian in the sun as much as possible.
Okay. So I assume, meaning you are staying out outside the tree line or whatnot, or Belzian at least
Yeah, is it
is.
possible?
I don't know about the rest of the group.
Possible to like just skirt right on the tree line with like
You can basically play like step on a crack, you break your mother's back, but with light if you like.
Yeah.
I like to jump over any shadowy parts.
The 12 seems to be smiling on you as you look to the sky and see that it's pretty clear day. There's blue skies and white puffy clouds. You look at those white clouds as threats to you, Belzian, because they're going to obscure your direct sunlight if they go across them, which is not something that you've ever thought about for fluffy, friendly-looking clouds before, and that kind of also puts you at unease. Something about this whole experience, you kind of feel like you're in hostile territory just being out in the sunlight. It feels good. It feels like you're not sinking further into this issue, but like something inside you is like very upset at this whole thing. And I don't just mean because you know you're cursed and you don't want to turn into one of those creatures. There's like another side of you that's like frustrated at the fact that you're in daylight.
Good old mortal danger. You ever look at the clouds and they look like shapes? Like sometimes you'll see a sheep, sometimes you'll see like an elf. Every single cloud looks like a vargoyle to me.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Everyone has three eyes though, which is weird.
I'm already not a big fan of the sunlight. I prefer not to look up at it.
Yeah.
I feel uneasy. Shall we go?
Yeah, no, I do not think we ever need to tarry.
Onward.
In doubt, run it out.
All right. The party begins traveling east.
Choo!
As you can see, parts of the forest rise and fall, and you kind of have to take a little bit longer following the edge of the forest. You try and cut the corner where you can as quickly as possible throughout the day. While you're traveling, I'd like to know what the group is doing. Is there any discussion happening? What's the plan? Are you looking north to see if there's any barbarians keeping an eye out for you? Any relicarians? Are you looking south to see if there's any creatures or elves or maple trees? Or like, what's the plan? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, personally, Ulrich is, marching as quickly as he can, but trying to keep an eye out for any elves and any signs of the conflict that has been coming from the north.
Okay.
The bow is riding on the back of Brunhild, heading Brunhild with one hand and holding that statue he got from the Hydra lair, and just kind of studying it while he's riding.
While old, it's very intricately carved. It shows signs of wear over time, as if somebody has rubbed that beard of the statue many, 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 many times. Kind of like, you know how Buddha statues have very polished bellies?
Yeah.
Because people rub the bellies for good luck. It's kind of like that, but with the beard of the statuette. It seems to be a little bit discolored and smoother onyx than the rest of the statue's detailing.
Seeing that, Zip will be like, obviously have to rub it, and then he'll rub it a couple times.
Okay. Yarvik?
Yo,
What are you doing during this travel?
just keeping an eye out. Just we're at our standard marching configuration, so scouting ahead,
Mhm.
keeping a wary eye on Belzian. It's just forging on.
Belzian, what are you doing? Just putting one foot in front of the other, making sure it's a light area, not a dark one?
Like paying attention to surroundings so he doesn't fall into like a ditch or something. But
Mm-hmm.
I reckon he would be focused on trying to stay in the sunlight.
Okay. Roger.
I'm not looking for anything in particular, mostly just keeping an eye on the party.
Okay. So you're looking inward, Ulrich's looking outward. Ulrich, You see as you're traveling east, about midday, so about halfway around, like you see that point that we just went around on the map, the tree line point.
Yep.
About here, as you're coming down from that point, you notice 4 figures watching you in the tree line. They appear to be hiding. You noticed one and then were easily able to pick others out near it. They seem to be following along the party and trying to keep from being seen by the party itself.
Ulrich is going to. Who has? Do we each have the leaves, or is it just Roger who has the leaves?
Just Roger.
Roger has them, and he's been kind of giving them out as you've
Cool.
encountered a tree.
Roger or Ulrich is going to telepathically just let everyone know that we have, hey, don't make a scene of this. We have people to our right in the tree line. Roger, could you maybe hold up a couple of leaves?
Or Roger, could you sorry, my voice sounds a lot less interesting in my head sometimes. Could you also a lot less coffee. Could you hold up a couple of leaves just maybe as a sign of good faith?
Sure. Do you have a hood you can put over to cover up your ears?
I'm the beard's gonna kind of give me away here.
Elves can grow beards.
Can they? I don't know. Can they, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah.
Amethyst has a mustache.
Oh, right. I did forget.
Is the mustache real?
Roger's just pointing at his own face.
Right,
He was
sorry.
fake.
I just sometimes block that thing out. Yeah, I'll I got my hair covering it, and
As you start talking to Roger, you hear in your head, "Don't tell the elf about us. We're gonna get you out soon."
I hear that, and no one else hears it.
Yeah,
Oh,
correct.
fuck. In that case, Ulrich just lets it know.
okay, maybe don't hold the leaves up. We're gonna need to stop for a second. We I think we're facing maybe some humans who maybe have the wrong idea of what our party's about.
I guess I was too zoomed in. So Ulrich is the one that's looking south, right, into the forest.
Yeah, he's kind
So-
of
He is
keeping an
now.
eye out. Yeah.
Okay. My brain got the two mixed up. That's why I was like, "What?" And then I got. Okay, I'm caught up. My brain is working normally now.
So Ulrich is just going to just say aloud, very, kind of like projecting but not yelling.
Boy, isn't it great that we are unaffiliated peoples visiting this land who are friends and not subjugated by any of each other, and we're just friends, and it would be really nice if we had other friends who could help us.
Because Zippo's been holding onto the statue and rubbing it, he hasn't really been paying attention. So when you say that, Zippo, in a louder tone than what you said, why are you hollering, Ulrich? I thought we were trying to be stealthy when we get through here so we don't attract unwanted attention.
Well, I'm just saying if we did have any unwanted attention, I would want them to know that we're all friends and could use some assistance.
Do you also want them to know how we killed a Hydra by ourselves? Because we're pretty awesome for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty handy, and we've also had to deal with all those flying heads, but maybe one of our friends has been bitten by one of those flying heads, and we could use a
Let's
hand.
do a persuasion, Ulrich.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to convince?
Jesus, I'm going to use my inspiration, because fuck that
Okay.
10.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's better. 25.
Much better. Yeah. You hear another message in your head. Are you saying that you're not prisoners of the two elves with you?
Yeah, no, I guess I could have just thought this back at you. I didn't think about that.
So it's not two ways. So
Oh, okay.
he you can only hear it because the cantrip and the cantrip message. It's only one way.
Right. Ulrich
Yeah.
thinks that, and when he doesn't hear anything, he goes, anyway, it's
Yeah, you're so used to communicating that way with the rings. Too.
it's really
So-
good that we are friends and not prisoners of any one of each other, but I would like it if if we could meet some people who could help us because we are in dire need of help.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get groceries real fast. Be like a couple minutes.
Okay.
Just assume Zippo's rubbing the statue.
Elzian's still standing outside of the forest. Don't make me come in there.
Yeah, the whole group is. The four individuals emerge from the forest slightly, and one kind of steps forward, presumably the one that was in your head, Ulrich,
Hello.
and says, "Did somebody say trouble?" And we will end our halfway point and go on break at this point. It's 9 o'clock. So we'll have a 10-minute break, and we'll be right back with the second half of the session.
Break time.
Welcome back from the break. Hope you rested well, because we are ready to go. So one of the four figures step out from the tree line, and as Ulrich did suspect, it is a human. The human is dressed in armor. The armor is hide armor, and is pretty well suited for being in a forest. He seems to not carry any weapon on him personally, but you can see that the other three have their arrows drawn, and they're pointed at, toward the rear of the group. The rear of the group, I'll remind you, is where Belzian and Roger are, since our elves actually are in the back of our marching order. Handily grouped together.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, no need for that. We're not from around here. We don't take part in the whole system that's been going on here.
Hello.
Yeah,
Howdy.
if anything,
If anything, you should probably only shoot Belzian halfway because he's only a half elf.
that's one way to look at that, and also, frankly, where we come from, the humans kind of rule things, sort of.
Unless their name is Marius, then they're a loser. We all hate them.
Sure.
You're from the Hang on, let me get it. You're from the free zone then?
From the what?
The free zone.
Well, if you mean from the northwest, yes.
No. I mean the
He said free
western
zone.
peninsula to the south.
Oh no, we are not from there. You know, there used to be a wall here.
Yes.
It's gone.
Yes.
Right, we're from the other side of that. It's not to the north, more to the west.
Ah.
The east?
Well,
What?
that explains a few things. That he still warily eyes the back two of the group, and he kind of motions his hand down, and the other three lower their weapons, but do not emerge from the forest.
So, my name's Ulrich. Y'all can introduce yourselves.
Zippo's still rubbing the statue, looks up again. Oh yeah, I'm Zippo, by the way.
Our little guy over there is Yarvik.
I'm Roger, and this is Belzian.
We're all friends.
We were like best friends.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Yes.
Eh.
God damn it, Roger.
That's Gauthier, Ruel, Tobia, and I am Calvaire.
Calvaire. So Calvaire, it's really nice to meet you. And I really appreciate you looking out for me. We got a bit of a situation. You know those flying heads?
The Vargoyles?
Sure, gargoyles. Well,
No. Vargoyles. They have nothing to do with these stony beasts.
R with a V.
Yes.
So, my friend here, Belzian, he got bit by one.
Nasty buggers.
Yeah, so that seems to be causing a bit of a problem.
Check this out. Belzian's like pointing to his bite wound.
So the bite wound has been healed. So you kind of point at like a
festering
discoloration
area.
on your head.
It's not a birthmark.
So I'm wondering if you know what we could do about that.
Besides decapitation.
Yeah, preferably.
I think that would just make the situation worse, because then we'd have to fight a head version of Belfield.
But he won't have his fists.
And he possibly would eat his body. We're still up in the air about that.
I would no longer be good at headbutting.
That'd be arguably the only thing you would be good at.
Yeah, to say it removes the other skills, not the headbutting.
Wait, are they chopping off my head or are they chopping off my whole body?
See, that's what we're trying to figure out.
That's kind of like a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B situation, you know?
No, I don't know.
Here, we'll show you if it comes down to it.
Calvaire kind of eyes Belzian warily, and he basically says, "Well, I didn't like you before. Well, I cannot help you. You have done the right thing by staying in the sun, but well, it is past midday. The night comes soon, and at night you will turn."
Turn around? What? We're going one direction. I don't want to turn around now.
He means turn into a Vargile.
Oh, well, that's not
Maybe you're
preferred.
aware of Argyle now.
Oh, hold up now. Is surely there's something we can do about this.
What if I bite a Vargoyle?
How are you handling this so well?
I'm freaking out, man.
Okay.
Belzian looks more tired than usual.
Inspiration. Have an inspiration for that. Thank you. I've been internally asking the same thing for like the whole session.
He's like gritting his teeth. He doesn't seem as sincere in his smile as usual.
Um,
I already have inspiration.
Oh, no, that was for
Oh,
Ulrich.
well, thank you.
Yeah. Belzian has inspiration, but
Did you add that in there?
wasn't the
earlier?
one that made the comment. I did because you
Oh,
voted.
very cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So, well, I do not know if he will like it, but my leader might be able to. He is very good with magic. He might have prepared just such a spell for today. You know, you are not the only person that has ever been afflicted by a Vargoyle. See, now you have me
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, it's like that. So okay.
The only problem is he will not come to us.
Okay.
It is about 3 hours from here.
How much
3 hours
daylight
your
do you
time
have
or
left?
3 hours our time? I think we're at midday.
Okay.
Yes, but it is not in the sunlight as we are now.
More sunlight in the shade of the trees than it will be when it's nighttime.
This is true.
I say we go with them.
Hear no argument from me.
Before we go any further, why are you here?
Really, we're trying not to be here as hard as possible.
Yeah. Look, all right. Short story. We're from the west, as I said, past the walls. We are from a kingdom that is the king was human. He's dead now. But anyway,
I do not care about the West.
great, wonderful.
Why are you here?
To
we
meet
headed-
dragons.
Yep, we headed east. We got fucking ambushed by a bunch of barbarians. We were driven south.
They cheated though. We almost got them.
Yep, and we were taken in by some nice elves who
were
said that
very
we
nice.
needed to go back north. We were on our way north, and now we're stuck in this situation. We do not want to be in this land.
Nor do we, but we do not want to go any further north.
Well, as long as you're not the conquering type, west isn't so bad as you know.
There is too much ground between us and there.
I get
No, we will stay where we have been unseen for many years.
there.
You say you are heading north? Why?
To meet dragons.
Those people are just as bad as the vampires.
We've heard some
there-
of them are good. We met this one guy. His name is Perrin. He was super cool.
Oh, yeah, super cool.
There are
A little crazy, but
people who can maybe help fix the world to the north.
Fix.
hopefully peace is what I'm guessing. The mission we were given is kind of vague. Mainly peace, but the whole thing was just trying to talk to them to get peace. So I'm just gonna go meet dragons and be best friends with dragons. That's my goal right now.
Is your mission to eliminate the undead?
I don't think killing is part of it for peace.
I
But if it
mean,
has to be,
I've gotten the impression that there's a lot more of them than there are of us.
Then there is no fix.
I We
I
don't
think you're
have
just kind of seeing the world in shaders, buddy. You need to get out a little bit.
The world was broken before the wall came down. If you are implying that it is now broken.
no.
I mean, the world's no more broken than it always has been, but at least if you go see the world somewhere, you won't be as shady and sad as you are here all the time.
I think we're getting a little off track. We don't know the full scope of what we're trying to do, admittedly. We do know that things can get worse than they already are. There is, as you said, a lot of bad people to the north. We're just trying to mitigate some of that bad and make sure people can find some peace in it.
They say if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything.
So do you have a plan? Because I have a saying too. By failing to plan, you plan to fail.
Plan is to go north and meet with some people who will provide us with more context, possibly dragons, provide us with more context so we can create a plan.
Look, plans only get you one thing, and that's disappointment when they fail.
Are we walking while we talk?
We still-
He hasn't made any effort to move until his questions were satisfied.
That's fair.
To be perfectly honest, the denizens of Relic in the Northern Lands are no fan of the vampires either.
That's kind of like why we were captured by the Axe Clans, because they thought we were vampire spies.
So they are not very different from, well, what we thought.
Hey, I got a question for you, if I could, Calvaire.
Go ahead.
What is it that you want us to do in this mess? Because ultimately, we're just trying to not do any harm and trying to make sure that our friend doesn't become an undead. So, is there something you want from us to, in general, any advice you might have?
Something we can do to prove our sincerity.
Yeah, we are not. You got us. You got us in a begging time of life.
Give me an insight check on Calvaire.
Sure.
Love me some insights. Just a 12.
Is that everybody or just them?
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to burn that inspiration again.
Roger and Ulrich are both kind of talking to him and engaged in the conversation and trying to win him over. Zippo, I'd say you're more just kind of talking about the dragons, right? Yeah. You don't really have an agenda in this except to make sure he knows that you're here for the dragons, right?
Yeah, and that I don't like his whole personality.
Yeah. Which, that's kind of Zippo 101 for somebody he just meets, so I like that. So Roger and Ulrich, you see someone who has been under the ruling of or under the enslavement of the vampire race for a long time. As he shrugs in response to your question, you notice the brand on the left-hand side of his neck. What could only be the brand of slavery. It's a tattooed brand, but it seems to be raised. It's been slashed across in one motion with a blade of some sort, dividing this brand in half. almost to symbolically discard the brand. Obviously, one can't really get rid of something like this, but that's kind of what seems to have happened to try and subvert it. Um, he doesn't really have any answers to this question, and doesn't seem like he's interested in elaborating in it. I think the insight that you're getting is that it doesn't matter if he has a solution or not to him. He's kind of just in survival mode. It seems like all four of them are. Yeah.
Noted.
Javier, we're just trying to survive, just like you. On the past
We're just
5
gonna get the better
days,
way.
we've seen nothing but death and fire, and we're trying to run away from it as fast as we can.
Tell me, Elf, is it coming this way? Do you lead death to us?
And we crossed it going orthogonal. It was going from north down to south, and we're going, well, southeast to northwest, or southwest to northeast. I'd tell you where, but I don't know how far back it was.
This forest has a funny way of doing that. Even when you know it. Well, I don't know if our leader will take kindly to this, but I will take you to Freehold.
We appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much. I really hope he can help me.
We appreciate it. Your people seem mistrustful of elves. Is it safe for me to travel with you, as I am?
If you are willing to give me your weapons, I do not see that somebody will cause you harm. It would be a sign of trust that would go a long way.
I hope you got a lot of pockets.
I would ask the half elf to assist us in this way too.
Can we disarm at the borders to your stronghold rather than here? I still do not feel safe in the woods.
Do not worry, elf. We will protect you. And he smirks at us.
Don't worry, Roger. I got
And
you.
he-
And Zippo pat Roger on the back. You seen how I killed that Hydra? We got this.
Um. All right. Well, I will. I will begin pulling out weapons and handing them to him. Uh.
He holds out his hands, expecting for you to. When you say you have a lot of things, he's just like ready to have an armload. And when more and more daggers come out and other things or whatnot, he soon realizes his error and begins trying to pocket things as you give him more things.
Yeah, he gets handed like half a dozen daggers plus the knife that's actually in my hand, then a giant like fashioned club from a big stick, a full quiver of arrows, and then a second quiver of fire arrows, 2 rapiers, 2 hammers, a longbow, and a spear, and then 5 bags of 20 caltrops, 4 pounds of ball bearings, a grappling hook, and a giant pile of rope for good measure.
When I said weapons, I did not mean your entire inventory, elf. But I appreciate your gusto.
If you don't consider those items to be weapons, then you are not creative enough.
I am creative enough. And he pockets everything as if it was a challenge. he seems to be a little overburdened at this point.
My offer to carry those things to the border of your people's stronghold still stands.
Noted. And he begins to lead the group into the forest. The other three wordlessly take up the rear in each side in a star formation with Calvera in the front. The other three are armed. Calvera continues to not have any weapons present when he is escorting. Instead, he has a spell book, which he seems to be having tucked under his arm.
If you don't mind my asking, Calvert, what are you reading these days? What are you catching up on?
This is not for reading. And he says, now follow me. And he tries to speed up things. The journey does indeed take 3 hours. Calvera was pretty correct about that. In that time, the group has to stop 3 times. Each time because Belzian experiences a great amount of pain and becomes more and more haggard as he's in the shade of the forest. You lose 3 more charisma points. Where are you at now, buddy?
I have 10 charisma.
Okay. So you're no longer attractive whatsoever. No, I'm just... Yeah.
Dang, this game is just like real life now. No.
You shut
Normally it takes longer than 3 hours, though.
up. And usually it's the opposite, and it involves alcohol. Yeah, you're feeling more and more haggard. Like you don't feel like you've slept now. I will have you note that you are not making any saves for this curse. This is just happening. It seems like that initial save was all it took, and now you're kind of suffering the
There's
effects.
a charisma save to avoid getting cursed. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Based on your knowledge about curses, Ulrich, and how fast he's going, you're not sure if he has more than 8 hours if he's in direct darkness, which means the humans, Calver's assumption is correct. He won't last the night at this point.
Ulrich does not share that with Belzian. No need for the bad news.
Sure is dark in these woods, eh?
Yes, just stand in the sunlight, buddy. Look at the
Sure
flowers.
is dark in these woods. Hey! He screams in pain. All right. So, you arrive in what Calvert described as the operation of Freehold. Freehold seems to be a collection of perhaps 3 dozen humans in tree what's the word, structures that are built into the trees, off the ground, and blended into the canopies of the trees. These trees are quite thick. They're not like the elven in structure because they make use of the foliage instead of making the foliage make use of the, you know what I mean? Like they it's not naturally grown structures. It's created structures. They have not used magic to create these. Uh, uh, I'd like a history check from the group.
Well, this is like the thing in that one town, New Pod.
Yeah, indeed it is. The camp looks very similar to the bandit camp that you burned down earlier in this campaign, which is what the history check was for.
In fairness, they did rig it to explode, and we tried to make that not happen.
That's you tried to make that happen though, didn't you?
Oh, I wanted to take all of the alchemist fire, we just couldn't get it safely.
Right. So then you decide to destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. just yeah. Just clarifying there a little bit.
They were bandits. They were bad people.
Right in the name.
Yeah, so you entering this camp and seeing the familiar sight of, I mean, it's not really a far cry to see that like a group of people have made a similar idea. I mean, they are, I guess, technically the bandits of Necrata, right? They are criminals of the state. They have escaped capture by the vampires and are living in the woods. It just happens that you're more sympathetic to this group of bandits. Which kind of, or not, yes, fair.
I said
Probably
for
don't.
now.
Which
for
cause
now.
they're championing is important.
That's very,
Methods
very
too,
true.
but the cause matters.
I did not move the marker, so let's
As long as they don't
Get
have
that
any
in there.
wanted posters of the party.
The camp seems ready for you when you arrive, as if they were already made aware of what's going on. You did hear Calvera murmuring to himself as the group traveled. Presumably, he did the same thing he had done with Ulrich earlier. Well, and none of you really know that except for Ulrich, so that's for Ulrich's ears. But there's no sign of attack or even threat when the group arrives. A ladder is lowered and Calvera climbs up and then motions for the rest of the group to come up too.
We follow.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna have to help me with. Actually, no, they don't. Never mind. I'm wrong. Hang on. I always heard something.
Can't Zippo fly?
Zippo can fly, but Brunhild can't.
How heavy would you say Brunhild is?
There should be a stat in there.
What kind of dog is
her-
she?
She's a mastiff.
Okay. So like between 140 and 170 pounds would be a reasonable amount for a mastiff.
Owl masters are bigger than I thought.
Same.
We
Female, she's 120 to 170. Yeah.
we had a like a Rottweiler Mastiff mix when I was in high school, and it was 150 pounds.
Jesus.
Lord.
I weighed
Without
150
being
pounds
like
in high school.
ridiculously obese or anything. That's just how big the dog was.
That's wild.
Big boy.
Okay. Changes what I was gonna do. Never mind.
Yeah, she's heavier than you are, Zippo. If she were like to pin you down, she'd win.
Yeah, it is a mastiff is a medium creature in all aspects.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, I am small. Okay, then yeah, I can't activate my flying thing because I don't want to just cast spells out of nowhere.
I will strap her to my back.
If you'd like, you could put her in the bag
Yeah, the special
of boarding.
Oh, that, yeah.
But that is a ladder down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a either way we go situation.
Yeah. We have put her in the bag before, and I haven't really questioned the ladder before, so I'm glad we're calling it out now, so that's not in a moment of dire situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll we can we'll have to work on figuring that stuff out.
Yeah, I was hoping Mage Hand could pick her up, but it's only nothing more than 10
It's
pounds.
only 10 pounds. Yeah.
I think there's a
But-
spell that's another hand spell I gotta pick up.
Bigby's hand. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean Ulrich could like put her over his shoulder, maybe, like do kind of like a fireman carry,
hmm
or carry her like a shepherd would carry a sheep.
Yeah.
And try and climb that way.
It's funny. I said strength check to carry a weight of a, and it said full-grown mastiff. Was the auto search?
Yeah.
They're big.
How much do you weigh right now?
He's so Ulrich himself weighs
Mhm.
202 pounds, and then he has currently 59.5 pounds of weight carried, and he is unencumbered. His carrying capacity is 300 pounds.
Okay. So your carrying capacity is 300, you said?
Mhm.
So you can push, drag, or lift weight in pounds up to twice your carrying capacity,
Correct, yeah.
or 30 times your strength score.
Yep.
It is the same size as you, or she is, I should say. I apologize. For each carry, double the creature's carrying capacity. So if you carry weight in excess of 5 times your strength score, you're encumbered. So your weight counts toward that when you're climbing. Plus hers, we're going to average her at 140.
Okay.
So your weight plus her weight is what?
So plus my carrying weight, that brings us to 402 pounds.
Okay, so that's still good, right?
Mm-hmm. If we're going off of my push, drag, carry weight, yes.
Yeah. Lift weight, yeah.
Yeah.
So just give me a strength. Give me an athletics check.
Sure.
Let's do an athletics for this.
Okay.
This is, you pick things up and you put them down.
Flat 20.
So yeah, that's I mean, it doesn't look easy. It's a living thing, but like you're able to kind of did carry her up the ladder as you kind of hold on very carefully. The trick is making progress up with one hand is tough. You kind of have to like quick grab up, and that's what the check's for. If you were able to use both hands and still carry her, it would be fine, but you kind of have to steady her or she's going to fall off your shoulders. So she's a big creature. So, well, at least comparatively to you. I would say that you probably take the lead and people wait for you to go up before anybody else goes. And then we'll go from there. If it was a rope, it would have been a harder check, but since it's a rope ladder, it's fairly simple to do that.
Excellent.
So just keep that in mind for the future, and we'll just plan accordingly there.
Sounds good.
I like to figure things out sometimes. Other times, it's not necessary. All right, so the rest of the group gets up. You can take 10 on climbing the ladder. It's a fairly simple ladder. It's fine. So you go up, and they roll the ladder up behind you, and you see that it's basically an entire village above the tree line. They're not poking up out above the canopy, so you can't see out across the forest, but you can see fairly well the forest around you as you're looking out. More than you could from the ground, for sure. You see plankways going across the different trees, very similarly to that bandit camp from before. It very much feels like that. The architecture's fairly different, but the design is the same. There's only so many ways you can build a tree hideout, right? So
There, I guess.
it seems like each structure is a family structure, but there are some common structures, potentially even places where people trade, sell, or gather resources. It seems that this place has been here for a while. The Calvert did say it was 2 or 3 years that they've been here, so it's pretty well established. Some of the rope and other things and vine work that they've used for rope look fairly new, as if they're replaced regularly. Everyone treats you warily, but that you're here and Calvert is vouching for you. Nobody is openly disdaining it at the moment. Some people look mistrustful. Some, and you can understand why. The elves are allied with the vampires and have told you that they've had to catch humans and send them back to the vampire lands regularly in order to not create a war with the vampires, to keep the peace.
Well, that's a nightmare scenario.
It is very unfortunate.
But it's impressive that you've been able to maintain peace.
We have not interacted with elves or vampires. We are alone, and we wish to stay that way.
So are elves and vampires the only other races you guys interact with, or that are around here?
Well, there are other humanoids, such as halflings, and he nods at Yarvik, and the smattering of others, but it is mainly us, the vampires, and the elves.
Zippo's gonna pull out the statue, or well, he still probably has it out. He's gonna be like, "What about this? Because it looks like a halfling, but I've never seen a halfling built kind of like this, you know?"
Where did you get this vampire artifact?
It's the Hydra I killed. I killed it, and I went and looted its little home area, and I found this.
This is a relic of the vampires. It bears their likeness.
Huh. I imagine vampires would be taller than half elves.
Some are, some are
Or
not.
not half elves, sorry. Halflings. It's crazy. Zippo's gonna go back to rubbing the beard.
I don't remember the vampires.
Do not rub that. I would put that away, and do not show it to people here.
Yeah, just don't have no respect for culture. I swear.
When the culture, as you say, hunts you down and feeds on you and your family while keeping you alive, I don't know if you would be interested in such culture. No, you would want to kill it. Would you not, like the Hydra that you mentioned?
Well, the Hydra I wanted to tame, but it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't even talk to me.
Ah, tame.
Yeah, make the
Like the vampires think they have done for us until we escaped.
if in the scenario you're making for me right now, which I'm assuming is what's happening here, is me being the stand-in for the vampires and the Hydra being the stand-in for you guys. I hope you put up a better fight than the Hydra did.
Jesus Christ, Zippo.
Zippo does not like these guys at all. Like,
Yeah,
that should be
Zippo,
blatant.
Zippo,
Zippo.
you gotta calm down a little bit, buddy.
Calvert smiles for the first time and looks at Ulrich and says, "No, no, no, I like him."
Okay.
And he leaves it at that.
All right. You know what, Zippo? Every time I think I got a bead on what's right and wrong, you just kind of blow right through the other way. So keep doing you, dude.
I don't know. If was going to go back to petting Brunhild since he can't grab the statue then.
All right.
And waving to make
Okay.
and waving at everybody we pass on purpose, just be like, "Hi," and waving at them.
A young girl sees you waving at her, and she waves back before a mother kind of ushers her inside.
I like her.
Every single human that you see here, and they are all human, bear the same brand, the same mark that Calvert has on his neck. The 3 that came with Calvert did not come up. They went back out as soon as they arrived. There are people that are keeping an eye on you. They don't have weapons actively drawn, but there are people watching in several areas of the encampment. They're looking out, but some are watching you. And I mean you as in a group, not like you, Zippo. You thread through the encampment until you are led to a small lookout tower to the south of the camp. You see a female with a shaved head, and by shaved head I don't mean like it's not bald like Belzian. It's close crop. It's not like a buzz cut. It's just cut very short. Shaved on the sides and longer along the top, and kind of ends just at the nape of the neck. She also bears that same mark. But she has a mark on the other side too. Both marks have a line cut through them, just like the other humans you've seen. Calvert, I see you have brought me some friends. Yes, mistress. These are the people I told you about. They say that they are enemies of the vampires, and they are friends of the elves. One or two of them, as you see, are elves, but they are not of this land. They say they are from the west, from the other side of the wall. They have no interest in us. They just wish to aid their friend. And he gestures at Belzian and he says, he has been bitten by a head.
Halcyon bows.
By Vargoyle.
Measure.
And Vargoyle bite. I am sorry. How long?
How long ago was the bite? Or how long was the biter? It was head-sized.
Very early this morning, maybe an hour or two after midnight.
No, I'd say it would be closer to about 6 o'clock in the morning because the sun was up a little bit. That's how we got to go back to sleep.
Okay. Yeah. Just before dawn.
I do not have the spell that you need at the moment. I did not prepare it for today.
Oh, well, like, no hurry or anything. Like, tomorrow maybe. Look,
Well, tomorrow may be too late based on what you've told us. I know no mortal that has survived a gargoyle bite for more than 24 hours.
I'm no mere mortal.
I do have something that might help until then.
Oh
I
my
can
gods,
cast
please.
daylight.
I was gonna say you gotta stop being cocky about this.
Belzian is basically groveling.
I can cast daylight, but it will only last 8 hours. Let me just make sure that that's correct. Is that an 8? No, it's 1 hour. I can cast daylight a total of 3 times.
Do you think it will get me
Um,
through the night?
It will buy you 3 hours.
That would be very generous of you.
Now, you'll need to be in daylight, actual daylight, not the spell, until night falls, and then we can do that for you. But it's going to be bright, and it's going to draw a lot of attention. We will need to prepare a room for you so that you do not give us away in the night. I do not need a beacon bringing every vampire and elf in this region to us. We have positioned ourselves in a place far from any elven camp, but with the incursions of the vampires, they are everywhere. We've done our best to try and keep out of sight.
Oh,
I cannot risk you jeopardizing all of us.
believe you me when I say that you being found out by the vampires would be the last thing that I would ever want.
Good, because if they did find us, it would be the last thing that you would ever want for sure.
Indeed. I like that you like to stay out of sight of the vampires. We actually saw some once, and we stayed out of sight as well.
Who?
I think they were like a duchess or something, if I remember correctly.
totally a duchess. I think it was the Baroness.
Fairness, yeah, that's the word. I'm not really good with all the society stuff. People aren't my upside.
Check my note.
Do you remember her name?
Let me consult my memories.
Can I make a history?
You can either check your notes or do a history check.
I'll do a history check. I don't remember.
I might remember.
That's totally in character. Belzian, being bookish, certainly remembers her name. Her name was
Viceroy Baroness Baron.
Bevan Theris.
Varys.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna kiss my wife goodnight. I'll be right back.
Aw.
Aww.
Nice. Imagine keeping like detailed notes on people you meet IRL. And then when you meet them again, yes, you, and you're like flipping through your little
Pulls out a
notebook.
book like, oh,
Franklin.
I would recommend that for your work career. Totally worth doing.
It's easier when you communicate through like emails,
Email and
text
shit like that,
messages.
yeah.
I'll never forget
But
somebody's name when their name's in the header, or
right.
if they're wearing a name tag.
Or if you got like Salesforce or some bullshit.
Oh goodness, I don't like
Yeah.
Salesforce.
You know what? I do, but
All right, I'm back.
I don't know. I get it.
Sorry.
It's not too bad. It does what it needs
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's the.
What's up? What I
We're
missed?
talking about the Force.
Yeah.
May it be with
Talking
you.
about keeping names like written down and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So, when Do you say the name Baroness Bavon Theres?
Yeah, we would relay this information.
Um,
She seemed like a somewhat of a big wig.
she points at her neck and says, "This is her mark." Or sorry, this is her mark. We once belonged to her.
Well, she certainly didn't seem very nice.
The way she says belong, she kind of like spits on the ground as she says it. Like,
I'm very sorry.
you may stay with us until we can help you. Um, but I ask that you move on after, and you must not tell anyone about us.
We had already promised the former, and I can totally promise the latter.
Yeah, I didn't want to stay here much.
The farmer?
Former. He said
What
former.
farm? Oh,
Yeah. We were already on our way to meet dragons, so being here and healing Belgian is a side quest till we go meet the dragons.
Forgive my Seregen accent.
she shrugs and says, I will let you know when your chamber is ready. Half-elf?
Thank you so much.
What is your
I
name?
am Belzian, the half-elf monk, and I am very sorry in advance if I make any horrible screeching noises.
Oh, don't worry. We have belts for that.
Oh,
She
Wait,
she gives you a smile like she's going to enjoy this. And starts making preparations. In fact, she starts inspecting the very tower that she's standing in to see if it would do well. And Calvert basically allows her to do her thing and says, it would be best to leave her alone now. If you would like to, you can settle in somewhere. You may interact with the people here, but I ask that you do not make any attempts to leave. Any attempts may give us away if someone happens upon us while you are here. And if we are attacked, you must fight with us. You cannot run.
We didn't run from a Hydra. What makes you think we're gonna run from some vampires?
Can I have my weapons back then? I don't want to spend the entire fight trying to unpack your pockets, Calvert.
Give me a persuasion. Or intimidation if you'd like.
I'm equally bad at both of those, so we're gonna do the nice option because Roger's not really gonna yell at this guy who, while Roger is unarmed.
Can Ulrich chime in to give the help action and chime in, just saying like, I can vouch for him. Again, we're just here to try and make peace, be friendly.
Yeah, give me you can have advantage on that.
We're here to make peace and be friendly, and therefore I need my weapons.
Yeah. Okay, 7's what you get.
Well,
Unless you're burning inspiration, of course.
no, Roger talking himself into a hole is 100% in character.
You may have your bow. I will give you the rest when you need them. You can have your bow, and I will give you both quivers. But that is it.
Alrighty.
Do not make me regret this, elf. He has not made any attempt to say your name, despite you being introduced to him. Understandably so, right? but he says it with a little the vaguest amount of humor, as if for now you're cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the last bit you get from your insight check from earlier. So the village itself, there is the ability to interact with people who are here. They may even have things that you might be interested in purchasing from them. Obviously, these people are trying to survive, so the things that they're going to be most interested in and find value in are going to be different from what you find value in. So they might pay you more for less. They don't seem to be interested in your coin, so it's going to be more like of either an actions or things like that. But if there are things that you're looking for, there is the potential that you might be able to get some of that here.
Well, I don't have any real gear on me, but I'm willing to perform services in exchange for goods.
Just to confirm, because I thought I wrote it down, but I guess I didn't. From the Hydra Nest, I got two gems. I think it was.
I can look up. It's in the summary, so it should be toward the end of the summary. Session summaries.
Yeah, I found it.
8 amethyst gems, the onyx
The
statue,
blue sparkling
and
liquid.
a bottle filled with blue sparkling liquid.
Okay, so we have 8 amethyst gems. I personally, on my character, have tradable items as a common clothes, which would be child sized, because those child sized for that matter.
Yep.
Leather armor, also child sized, or halfling sized, But this is all human, so it'd be child sized. I have a crowbar, a hammer, some pittons,
Items.
and
So listing all these things out are great, but they're worthless if you're not looking for anything. So that's the first question.
oh yeah, no, I'm just saying what I have possible to trade.
Got it.
And then I could have a steel mirror, and also I don't think I pulled out the bullseye lantern yet. So there's that. The rest is stuff I'd like to keep. And no, did we use the metal door yet, guys?
Not yet.
No, I still have a metal door as well. Okay. Let's see. What kind of item could I look for? Zippo's gonna be wandering around, talking to everybody, and seeing just. I don't think of what thing I could look for. Second to think about it. Really, I guess anything that really just catches Zippo's eye, and like anything he sees, and like as soon as he sees it, it's just gonna be like that's cool. I think like I don't have anything specific that Zippo needs per se, but he would like to just look around and while talking to people, see if they have anything that like just like, oh, what's that by the way?
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Belzian is gonna meditate close to where the room is, but offer up any and all of the money he has on his person if anyone needs any.
Okay. I would say Belzian, since you're looking to stay in the sunlight and you're in the canopy, your first instinct to try and get into sunlight, since you can't go down, is to go up. so that you're in the light. You've done this before when you've looked out to look directionally to see where things are, so this isn't completely out of character for you.
I go towards the light. In order to not go towards the light.
Cordyceps fungus. He's climbing to the top of the tallest thing to die.
All right. Rest of the group.
So, just to make sure, because we have to leave the next day, they're advising what exactly long-term solution for Belzian?
She is preparing a spell in the morning.
Right.
That will be able to solve Belzian's problem.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
She doesn't have it prepared currently.
Right.
Presumably for other spells. I mean, it's a pretty high-level spell, right? So.
Yep. Nope, just wanted to make sure that I was not mistaken on that. Honestly, Ulrich is just, seeing how he can make himself useful here. Probably talking to Calvert about it.
Okay.
I'm going to join Ulrich with that.
All right.
Hey, we're here, and you guys are helping us. We probably ought to help you when we want to. How can we do that?
Meanwhile, Jorvik kind of thinks for a moment and then decides he's going to take a well-deserved nap. He's been marching for forever. He didn't get a lot of sleep last night because of everything. He's a little grumpy, so he goes to sleep. He kind of leans up against the tree which is kind of his home element, right? And takes a snooze. Not too far away from the party. All right. Zippo, you do notice that there is one location that seems to be an armory of sorts. But there are some things set aside that don't seem to be common use that are hanging on the wall. A man by the name of Amden is kind of keeping things in check, marking off when people take things to use for patrol and whatnot, but makes no effort to hand out these items. These items all seem to be metal. They seem to be shiny. They catch the sunlight, so they're presumably not as great to be stealthy. They're trying to keep people from getting attention from wearing these things. There's 2 shields and 2 sets of armor. One shield appears to be inlaid with platinum. It seems to be fairly ornate. Another shield seems to be an elven design, and it's inlaid with silver, which, as you've heard from the elves back in Aurora, silver is a forbidden metal in Necrata, so it would have to have been very old indeed for this shield to exist, or the elves further east may not follow the same exact keepings that the ones in the east do. Or the west, yeah. You get what I'm saying. Regionally, there might be some difference there. Both the suits of armor are interesting. One has an unknown coat of arms. It seems to be that of a fish person with a trident. It's a metal that you're not familiar with. And then the other one appears to be a scale mail, and it has runes on it and looks like it's maybe even dragon scale, for all you know.
Is there anything written on any of them in any kind of language on any of the items?
The runes that are on it could be a language.
Okay, because I have the thing that lets me read all writing, so that's why I was asking.
Right. Is that comprehend languages?
No, it's just a feat that I took. I can read all written language or written writing.
Post that one again for me, please. Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's the
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Eldritch Adept. Huh. Did you take that from a level
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, whenever I got my next ability score improvement, I just took the Eldritch Adept so I could get the Eyes of the Runekeeper to read all writing, read the map.
Okay. We'll have to talk about how you accomplish this feat. I know there's no like. I want to know like an in-character reason for it at some point.
Zippo just wanted to read the map so badly that he
Yeah.
just somehow got the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like whenever I was picking
Okay.
the thing, that was the only thing I was going through my head was map reading. Since we couldn't read it normally.
So Eyes of the Rune, could you post that one for me?
Yeah, it's
That's PHP
right,
111,
right behind
right?
the 111. It says you can read all writing.
That's
Yep.
it? It's
You
just,
could just
that's the
yeah,
spell?
that's the whole thing is you could just read all writing.
Interesting. So the only reason you got that is for the Eyes of the Rune. You don't really get the Warlock stuff.
Oh no, I don't
right?
get anything Warlock thing. Whenever you pick Elders of Depth, the only prerequisite to picking Elders of Depth is casting a spell. So I picked the one that
Yeah.
let me read the runes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, got it. Okay. So the runes seem to be runes of protection. They basically read, "I protect this wearer."
Gotcha. Okay. I'll
And you don't know what language it is. You just can read it.
Gotcha.
So.
I'll go up to the guy at the armory. Like, hey bud, you don't seem to be handing out, and I'll point out those 4 items. That very much. I can see why not the shield, because silver's kind of banned here. So if you get caught with that, you're mega dead. So
It's also reflective, he says.
true. All of it seems to be pretty flashy.
Yeah, that's why we don't give it out. But it does seem to hold value. So I keep
How much
it.
value are you talking? Because we'll be
Well, you
leaving
know.
here soon anyway, so we don't mind being a little flashy.
This is fair. You know, if you attract danger to you and it's not here, it is one less thing at attacking us, I suppose.
True.
So you are interested in which item? And he looks at the 4.
That last set of armor, the scale mail,
Ah, yes.
that one looks pretty interesting.
The one that has the runes of protection on it.
Yeah.
This is what they call mithril armor. It is said to be made from the scale of dragon.
I do love dragons.
It seems to be that of a lighter metallic dragon. It's either silver or platinum. At least that's what it looks like from design.
Gotcha. How much would you say that armor's worth?
Well, what are you offering?
Let's see.
It depends on. Money will not work with me. Only credits. So.
Let's see. Zippo's gonna reach into his bag. He's gonna pull out the child-sized leather armor. Like, this old armor used to work me pretty good.
Well, this is your armor?
Used to be, yeah. I don't really wear it that much anymore.
This is much smaller than the armor here. He gestures to the mithril armor, which is medium-sized.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have ways around this, I think. I'm a little magically
Well,
inclined.
leather armor might protect a child. This is of some value, yes, but it is not a match.
And then Zippo will pull out regular clothes. Like, I have this. Is it alright if I just set stuff right here and I'll like point it in front of me? Because I'm just kind of looking through here.
Of course,
I'll pull out
as long as you take it away with you when you leave. If I do not take it,
okie dokie. I'll pull out a crowbar, a hammer, some pittons. Let's see.
these are all fairly common, standard stuff.
And then Zippo will start pulling around on his robe. It's like, I got an iron door. If you would be interested in an iron door.
Do you see where we are right now?
Yeah, it looks like your doors can be pretty easily broken.
Da. We live in trees. We have no need for doors. Doors are for ground.
Fair enough, fair enough. Let's see here. I have a steel mirror. I don't know if that would do you any good. I got a bullseye lantern that's filled and lit.
I will take the bullseye lantern as part of this trade, but I still do not think this is an even one. I think you are making off like a elf.
I thought you were gonna say bandit.
No.
Okay. And then so Zippo pulled the bullseye lantern off of his robe and said, I have two bullseye lanterns actually, if you would like to have two of them at the same time.
Of course, I will take as many lanterns as you possess. Do you have any oil for these lanterns, or just the lanterns themselves?
I normally don't need to see in the dark because I can already do that, and Zippo pointed out his eyes. So I personally don't have any oil. I don't think. Let me double check.
This is a fancy ring you will have there. What is this ring?
Is he pointing at? Is he talking about my ring of communication?
Yes.
Do we have any extra of those? Yeah.
We gave away all our extras already.
Did we? I thought Brunhild was wearing a necklace of them. Okay.
So we had the 6 that were for each member of the party.
Yeah, I think we found 9 originally.
I think we had 8 originally. You gave 1 to the
Marius.
Marius. I believe you had 1 left. Did you give that ring to the elf leader?
Don't remember. We might have.
I don't see a star on the map, so I'm going to presume that you have not.
No, so we have 1 extra. I'll be like, well, yeah, it's a pretty handy ring. I've got 1 of them. The problem is they only connect to each other. So.
Oh, so I could only talk to you, unless you gave us 2.
Yeah. And it only works within a mile range.
That would be pretty handy. We have 1 person who can communicate this way, and he gestures over it. I keep blanking on his name. I have to keep going up. Calver. But we are not all as talented as he is in the magical arts.
I understand. Some of my party members points at Roger and them. They're not really good at magic either.
Are you saying that you are?
Yeah.
Is there anything you could do that might be of assistance to us with your magic?
Let's see here. I mean, most of my is centered around killing and protection of myself. So I mean, if you want me to kill a bunch of trees, I've got you. I can also instantaneously clean or soil any objects, chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material. So if you got some food you need heated up or flavored, I can do that.
Oh, interesting. You can clean.
Yeah.
Now, I do not wish any disrespect, but it does take a lot for us to wash the clothes of the village. We must find a water source and do so over the cover of darkness, which is quite dangerous. And if we do not clean them, it draws insects and other creatures which could be problematic as well for trying to hide. We do not want our enemies to smell us coming.
Yeah, I understand.
If you would assist us with cleaning and perhaps some other tasks around the village for today, and with these items, and he gestures at the 2 lanterns and the armor, I think we have a fair trade with this mithril armor.
You got yourself a deal.
I will get the cleaner, and we shall strike up the deal.
Alrighty.
Alright, so that's what Zippo's going to be doing for the rest of today, and there's going to be a lot of that. Fortunately, it's a cantrip.
Yep.
We'll move on to Ulrich and Roger with Calvert.
Calvert, just want to make ourselves useful however we can.
Okay. How would you like to be useful?
What do you need?
Yeah, I mean, look, I got some healing abilities. I'm big and strong, and the elf is here too.
Well, he clicks his tongue and says, I am at the loss as to what you can do to help us. It seems like I am doing more to help you. However, there is probably a few people that could use a helping hand or two in the healing department. Minor scrapes and pains and lasting injuries from being in the wilderness for so long.
Yeah.
Tell me, how good are you at setting bones?
I am. My healing is the magical kind that kind of just is for more active situations. Like are these fresh breaks?
They are not, sadly.
Then
We have a few. We have one particular man who was someone who protected us, but he early on in our settlement broke his leg and has unable to been a scout. He feels that if he is a burden to us, but of course he is not.
I mean, I wonder if it's still broken.
Yes.
I wonder if I broke it
It is
more.
It has healed some, but he has not been able to walk on it.
Right. I mean, I certainly can give it a try. I've got some medical expertise and, certainly can try and heal it. So,
Excellent. This would be a great help. And he calls someone to bring the gentleman out.
Roger, I figure I'll just try and lay on hands, and then if that doesn't work, you and me will try and, set it.
Sure. I do have an excellent knowledge of anatomy, although maybe not of the helpful variety.
Yeah, I mean, you can
I
reverse
can tell you where all
engineer
the important stuff is.
that. It's good. That's good. It's a start.
Give me a history check, Ulrich.
21.
You have healed soldiers' breaks before in battle.
Okay.
Mainly, and you've seen it done. Maybe in the past you weren't able to cast it, but as soon as you were able to, you chose it as a spell, and that's Lesser Restoration.
Okay, cool.
So you would be able to do that if you have that prepared,
I sure do.
which I believe you do.
Yep, sure do. Never not going to have that prepared.
Yeah. So yeah, basically they rolled a critical fail on a check, and that was their complication. And since then nobody here can cast Lesser Restoration, they were unable to get that fixed.
Cool. Yeah, as soon as the patient is brought our way, Ulrich will cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay. You see the bone actually break itself as you heal it, and he screams out in pleasure because he thinks it's gonna hurt. It's supposed to hurt, and has that like automatic reaction, and there's like, oh, that feels great. It's like almost like a chiropractor where they pop you back into alignment.
Yeah.
Basically, as it breaks, it's healing at the same time. The positive energy of your spell basically either takes the pain or masks the pain. So it's a little sickening to watch, Roger. And if you hadn't seen this happen in war before, you probably would have had a more sour stomach about it. But you're, as you said, you're no stranger to anatomy, and you kind of help to hold him down until he realizes that it doesn't hurt.
All right. Well, that's
Thank you so much. I cannot believe this. Oh, it has been years. And he kind of stretches his legs and like, do you see this, Colver? This is a miracle. And Colver basically is thanking you. Thank you so much for helping my father.
Oh, I missed the bit about it being your father. I'm so sorry.
I did not give it.
Okay. That does make me feel better. I thought maybe I lost my active listening skills there. Well, yeah, I'm glad to have helped. Excuse me.
So you are heading east?
Yeah, I mean,
That's the current
north,
plan.
east, eventually.
And what are you looking for east?
So, we're... Okay, look, I know you've had a really, and it's just putting it mildly, bad time, even before the wall fell.
Yes.
But our understanding is that now that the wall is down, things will get exponentially worse. And we're heading to find some folks who are associated with dragons in some fashion. We're north of the wall and northeast, and
It was really the only way to get Zippo to shut up.
that too. I mean, he's Yeah. And hopefully we can get them to assist us in preventing things from getting exponentially worse. Does that make sense?
Yes, give me one moment. My cat must be let in. I will be right
No
back.
problem.
It
I
might
wonder.
not be the best plan to tell this guy that we're trying to maintain the status quo, because the status quo kind of fucking sucks for these people.
Yeah, I know, and it's not a good thing, but frankly, I'm not going to promise them that we're going to go and make the world all better. Because
Tell him that we're going to Relic, to a place that is inclusive of other people, and that they don't
Thank you for your
that they don't like
patience.
the vampires either.
I do not know whether they feel that way, so I can't really speak to that much.
Well, that we've been told they don't like the
Yeah,
vampires either. I mean, Calvera knows that we don't know these people in person yet.
yeah. I mean,
I have returned.
welcome back. Sorry, it's just Roger was just making the very good points that we're not looking to maintain so much a status quo as we are looking to improve things. It's just I don't want to sell fantasy to you that we're out to make the world better than it's ever been. Because like you, Calvert, I kind of recognize that there's a lot of bad in this world. So we're just trying to counteract some of that bad as best as we can. And we think we have some allies that are the welcoming sort to the Northeast.
Status quo. Is that a expression from the West once more?
Keeping things the same. We're not looking to
Hmm.
keep things the same. We're looking to make things better and prevent things from getting worse. Does that make sense?
Yes. But what can 5 do for a world?
We
I
don't know,
mean,
but we're trying to find out.
yeah. Did you
It used to be
expect me?
6.
That's true. And did you expect me to be able to fix your father's leg like that?
This is true.
Right.
I
I mean,
did
sometimes.
I did not think this morning that my father would be made whole once more when I rested for the evening.
And I frankly did not think that. I was feeling pretty certain that our friend Belgium was just going to be, just watch his head fly away soon.
Well, currently, he seems to be doing well, or at least I have not heard any more of those eerie calls that he makes.
Yeah,
Did he do that before, or is this a new thing?
that's a new thing. That kind of tipped us off on the whole problem.
Hmm. This whole wall thing does unsettle me. I am grateful that you are here in these lands, and that perhaps this is a new chance for my people to be away from the vampires. But my fear is that this will just allow the vampires to spread more, not less. Yes, there are more people, but that means, in their eyes, more food, more people to subjugate. And they talk of... They have talked of the wall going down before. Many vampires see the wall as a shield, but others say that the wall makes the world too strong, and with it gone, it is weaker. That is something that they seem to agree with you with, which concerns me.
Right. That's, we just want to figure out whether that's true, and if it is, address that situation. And frankly, if I had my druthers, I'd like to end uh the reign of vampires. But as you said, what can five do against?
Many.
Yeah.
Since you come from other places, I only know of, in the last few years, of this place and the place to the south where the Baroness's lands lay. What news do you have of the outside world? And is the world weaker with the wall down?
Our homelands are, that's for sure.
There are people who like it that the wall is down. They want to conquer other people. And I think that that's gonna lead to big problems.
Well, it'll shake up the status quo. Might be better, might be worse.
I mean, yeah, but it's gonna get worse before it gets better in the long term. The Axe Clan will see to that.
Well, the Axe Clan have no love of the elves and have no love of the vampires.
They also made it fairly clear to me that they wouldn't mind a westward expansion.
Well, sure. They're conquerors, they want it all.
Right.
It is not just the people that are affected by this wall being down. The creatures that come across, the disease that may spread. We have already had a few people get sick with illnesses that we have never heard of or experienced before. Even the stars look different. We can no longer find our way. They are less familiar. The same stars are there, but there seems to be more. No, it is more than just what affects you and me. Something is different about the world.
Yep.
I do not know what.
Now, part of our quest, you could call it. Part of our quest is to find out what that is.
I was hoping you would know.
No, I'm afraid not. But if you got some sick people, I got a little more in me to maybe address that.
And also, I'm here.
And also Roger too.
You are doing very well not shooting people.
Easier than it looks.
Thank you for this. Oh, I love this. This is great. All right, so it's getting dark, and she brings Belzian down and basically puts him in this basically this tube within in the watchtower. It's been all leathered up and kind of there's a makeshift door that's been like with ties to like kind of contain it so that like there's still
Leathered up
probably
or
going to be a
lathered?
glow. Leathered up, leathered.
Cool.
There's still probably going to be a glow from daylight like coming through the leather some, as if like, you know, when you illuminate through hide you can see kind of like through the hide, but it's better than just broad daylight, right? So basically if it's going to be an 8-hour rest at this point, as the sun sets, that she will take the long rest so that she can prepare. 3 of those hours will not be giving you charisma damage, but the other 5 will.
Okay.
What does that bring you down to?
5.
Okay. Okay, so let's kind of go through this a little bit. It is the end of the session, so I'm gonna actually leave it before that start happens. I'm going to describe what happens that night or what we're settling in to do. But basically, take note, Belzian, that next session you'll have 5 charisma left. Okay. So the village prepares for night. It seems like they are ready for anything, and by anything I mean anything that you've encountered so far. They have like mesh that cover the different locations to kind of help camouflage it. They're ready for things that are in flight, and it's already pretty well meshed to be covered for things below. Presumably this is to both help with vampires that might fly above, but also the gargoyles and whatever other type of creatures might be wandering this forest, Hydra or otherwise. They take watches and ask, and basically say, if any of you want to take watch, you may, but there is no need. They will awaken us if there's a need for fighting, and basically allow you to sleep. Belzian, I will end with this. This is one of the most harrowing nights of your life. You've had a fairly pleasant life in your monastery. You'd never even got chickenpox while you were there. Or whatever that standardized thing is for this setting. I'll make it up next time. If you remind me, I'll ask. If you remind me, I'll give you an answer then. But ultimately speaking, you are basically feel like you're fighting off a creature inside of you that's basically trying to rip out of you through your head. Your head is pounding. It feels like your ears are burning and itching. They're not like changing in any way, but like they just, you can feel the monster kind of trying to take hold within you. As the third daylight spell wears off, you feel like you're just creeping ever closer to death. You no longer have that hope that she'll be there in time. You think that you're gonna go before she gets to you, and you're not sure what to do at this moment. We're gonna end the session there. Do you have anything that you'd like to add of what you're gonna try and do to try and help satiate this monster before it's time for you to turn, Belzian?
Belzian would probably turn to prayer to the 12, not knowing any
Okay.
magic or anything. And
Right.
if he's feeling particularly bad, maybe give a, "It's been a pleasure serving with you" over the rings.
Okay.
Fairly well, fellows.
If you want to articulate that a little bit more, you could kind of type it out and then you could post it in character chat in the Discord if you'd like.
I can do that.
All right. Well, excellent session, everyone. I know it was a little less. It was a little the opposite of the all fighting session we had last time, right? But definitely some unique viewpoints in this one. So we will be back in 2 weeks. That's going to be the 22nd of November. That's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Now, I have to check with Yarvik about that because I know he's going home for Thanksgiving this year. So he might be away during that time. Do we want to look at possibly doing a session next week or the week after Thanksgiving to just make sure that we're heading off any of that? Or what do you think?
I'm flexible, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do either.
Yeah, like schedule yoga. We can do this.
All right. I'll throw out both the 15th and the 29th and see what sticks. That'll actually get us back on our normal schedule. We've been kind of off week for a bit because of different things, so this would get us back into that rhythm. Not that it really matters, but like based on my original calendar that I had set up for us in anticipation. So anyway, we don't need to talk about that anymore in stream. Those of you who are watching the VOD or watching in person, thanks for being here. I appreciate you taking this journey with us. We'll see you either next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on what we decide, or maybe 2 of those 3. Who knows? We'll see you soon, and thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night.